if you're sitting there thinking, I'm me, I can't run for office. I once pushed so hard on a pole door that it cracked a little bit, and then I got embarrassed, and I left through the emergency exit so that nobody would see me leaving through that cracked pole door. And I didn't realize that it had a fire alarm, and I set that off, and the whole building had to evacuate. And the real rub of it is I wasn't even in the right building. I had misread MapQuest in 2008. If that's you, please allow me to show you who some of the other people currently in office are. And ask yourself, would you really be worse than some of these folks? How about, would you be worse than an actual traitor to the country? Would you be worse than Lindsey Graham?
The original Trump critic turned Trump sycophant, perhaps the most squirrely of them all, is Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. Back in 2015, Senator Graham was running against Donald Trump for the Republican nomination, and he was about as critical as it gets.
I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. He's a jackass. You know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell.
Then after he lost the primary and Donald Trump became president, Graham did a complete 180. He wanted so badly to be close to the man in power, and he was willing to humiliate himself to get there. In October of Trump's first year in office, Senator Graham tweeted about a round of golf he played with the president.
Okay. Let me just pause for a second and be clear about what I'm saying. You could have no idea what a U.S. senator does. You could not be able to name how many senators there are in the United States. You could be the sort of person, and there are many in the United States, you could be the sort of person that doesn't know if it's fancier to be a senator or a representative. And you would still be better than that guy. I would still rather have you in office making decisions than I would Lindsey Graham. Because at least you would be honestly trying. And I'll tell you, no job is as easy or as difficult as it seems. Really, no thing is. But in particular, no job is. It's when people make fun of people who flip hamburgers for a living, they don't feel the grease burns. And they're not thinking about the annoying customers. And when people imagine a rocket scientist making a calculation, they're not also seeing that rocket scientist give themselves a paper cut on the same piece of paper every single day because they won't stop flipping open the how-to manual in annoyance. Point being, no job is as easy or as difficult as it looks. You will eventually figure it out, whatever it is you want to run for. If you are looking in your district and find that Lindsey Graham district, if you're in your, if Lindsey Graham is your senator, or if you're looking in your district and you find that you have a Lindsey Graham-esque Trump sycophant as your representative, even if you know nothing about anything, you will do a better job than them. But good news, you can also be president, it turns out, because Graham turned on Trump something fierce.
President, quote, President Trump shot a 73 in windy and wet conditions. How bad did he beat me? I did better in the presidential race than today on the golf course, exclamation point. The slobbering continued up until January 6th when Senator Graham claimed he finally had enough.
Trump and I, we've had a hell of a journey. I hate it to end this way. Oh, my God, I hate it. From my point of view, he's been a consequential president. But today, first thing you'll see. All I can say is count me out. Enough is enough. I've tried to be helpful.
By the way, consequential is funny. Now, that didn't last long. Soon enough, Lindsey Graham was right back at it, tearing up on Fox News as he literally begged viewers to send Donald Trump money.
Talked about this.
I'm sorry I'm so upset, but please help President Trump. If you can afford $5 or $10, if you can't afford $1, fine, just pray. Make sure you vote as early as you can in your state. Don't risk anything anymore. Vote as soon as you
Remember this? When he like dressed up like Trump? That's actually the most flattering angle of that whole thing. He had the fake tan on. He'd put on weight, weirdly. He had his hair especially weird. He's just, it's wild to me. What a weaselly little nothing he is. You know? Absolutely wild. But yeah, there he is shortly after having said that Trump was a traitor and blah, 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 or whatever he was saying. Enough is enough. I'm out. Here he is begging America, give a billionaire money because we're in hell.
You can pray for this country, pray for this president, and if you got any money to give it.
Bro, come on. Now, 9 years into this routine, Lindsey Graham has flip-flopped once again. According to wild new reporting, Graham turned on a dime and, quote, threw Trump under the bus during his grand jury testimony in Fulton County, Georgia. Trump faces 13 charges in that state in connection with his efforts to steal the 2020 election.
Let's be clear. By throwing Trump under the bus, what they mean is testified honestly. Are we calling that throwing under the bus? He threw Trump under the bus by telling the truth to authorities. That's throwing under the bus. That's where we are.
Quote, Graham testified that if you told Trump that Martians came and stole the election, he'd probably believe you. He also suggested to the grand jurors that Trump cheated at golf. It got even weirder from there. After Graham was finished testifying, he bumped into District Attorney Fani Willis in a hallway and thanked her for the opportunity to tell his story. That was so cathartic, he told Willis. I feel so much better. Then,
do recall that Graham did everything in his power to avoid testifying. He's a liar.
To the astonishment of one source who witnessed the scene, South Carolina's senior senator hugged the Fulton County DA. According to one witness, Willis was like, whatever, dude. All of those crazy revelations come from a new book by journalists Michael Isikoff and Daniel Klaidman titled Find Me the Votes, a hard-charging Georgia prosecutor, a rogue president, and the plot to steal an American election. I'm happy to report that Michael Isikoff will join me for an interview about the book and all those incredible details in it on Tuesday night next week. So, Senator Graham, set your DVR.
I'm looking forward to it. You're better than that. You sure are better than that. Links in the description. Run for something. Run for anything. Run for Senate. If Lindsey Graham is your senator, my God. You're better than that. And even if you lose, actually, frankly, particularly if you lose, you will be draining the resources of a party which must not be in power. Must not be in power. It's dying, thank God. The Republican Party is curling up and rotting. But it's dying in parts. We got to help it along as much as possible. Deny them the ability to F with the United States of America and ruin the world any further. Run for something.